So you beautiful people, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. We was expecting a major overhaul for the end of November, with things like the minimap reverting back to normal. Hopefully stuff like Dead Silence being incorporated as a perk and so forth. But I'm here to tell you that you're going to be highly disappointed, as Joe Cecot came out with this tweet yesterday. Overhaul was a fake statement to get attention. We are constantly updating the game at least once a week, sometimes twice. Season 1 incoming also by now. He was replying to the gentleman above, who basically has done exactly what we've all done. They expected a huge overhaul because of information that was put out. Now, there was two things that went on here. TheGamingRevolution was the person who leaked this information that we would be getting this major overhaul, and he's been quite accurate, so there was no real reason for most of us to disbelieve him in any shape or form. But there was also a few fake Joe Cecot accounts that were tweeting out certain things that were totally incorrect, basically trolling the community, and this has all come out now, and it's literally blown up in terms of the community. Now, before we continue with this video, I really want to say something. It's come to my attention that Joe has been threatened via Reddit by the usual Call of Duty toxic community. Now, the majority of the community is sound, but there are those few people that really spoil it for us. Now, it is a video game at the end of the day, and for me it's not that serious, but threatening this gentleman's family is just one step too far. Now, I understand we get passionate, we get vocal, and we get angry sometimes because the devs seem like they're not listening to us, but there is absolutely no excuse to be threatening a man's child at the end of the day and his wife. Now, what I will say to you, Joe, is you definitely, and I'm not condoning what's happening, but you definitely have to have thicker skin in this industry. Me being a YouTuber and a small YouTuber over the last 3 years, I've come across plenty of people who have threatened to turn up at my household because they don't share the same opinion as me. And if you're going to be involved in social media in any shape or form when it comes to Call of Duty, then you definitely have to have thicker skin. It's just something that comes with the territory. Now, the problem has been the Gaming Revolution has definitely tweeted out very valuable information, which most of it has become true. But then we've had tweets by a Ashton, who she's turned around and spoke about this big update, which has almost clarified to us in our minds that there is a big update coming. Now, the problem is, Joe has turned around and said there's no update, and if you look at Ashton's tweet here, finalizing notes for the big update in comments and stuff, you all keep asking about. Notes are little over 2 pages long, lots of good stuff on here. Look how many likes are on there and how many retweets. 1.2 thousand retweets, 9.9 thousand likes. That is the community. The smaller part, as they keep going on about, voicing their opinion. They are happy about this. These are changes that I personally believe also the majority want. Now, it's been stipulated by other people that stuff like skill-based matchmaking appeases the 80 to 90% of the population, and the vocal 10% a minority. Now, I would love to see where they got these statistics from, because personally I think they're talking a load of codswallop to believe that the 10%, and that's the people that are on Twitter, that are in the YouTube videos, that are commenting on videos like mine, that you are classed as 10% according to these people who have irrefutable evidence of this. Whereas personally, I feel like this was probably true more back in the times of Modern Warfare 2, but now almost everybody on the planet has got a mobile phone. That means they've got access to most of them got access to the internet in some way, shape or form, and most people will use YouTube, because YouTube is the second largest search site in the world aside from Google. So to say that you believe this only affects 10% of people, I feel like these guys are well off the mark, and that's a political statement to try and manipulate things to their benefit. Now, if this was true, then Call of Duty World War II, 6 months down the line, the vocal 10% wouldn't have had the game changed for the better. We would never have had the change of the division system. In fact, we wouldn't have had changes at all. And I feel like we speak for the silent majority, because there are plenty of people, if this is what they're stating, that don't know where to voice their opinion if the game isn't going the way they believe. But take it from plenty of people I speak to who have played Call of Duty for over a decade, we all seem to be singing in unison with these changes that we want. So to hear Joe Cecot shoot these down, I'm not condoning people threatening him, but I can see why people are starting to get really hacked off with this guy, because it doesn't seem like he has got the greater good of the game at the forefront of his mind, in my personal opinion. So what is the community really asking for, and why is it too big? These guys are hell-bent on sticking to their guns. Now, I don't personally believe that as a developer that is very honorable of you to kind of dismiss what the community wants. You need to be transparent in these type of positions and have an open mind and be willing to take criticism and push it into the game, because at the end of the day, it's for the greater good of everyone. The game is well received by the community. You look like a knight in shining armor. It's a win-win for everybody. But to flatly say that the game is going to be developed to your liking is a very close-minded way to develop a AAA title that has been a #1 selling game year after year for a period of time. So skill-based matchmaking, I think the community would like the strength of it to be taken down. We definitely want dead silence as a perk. Map voting is something that a lot of people have suggested, but we're being told by the developers they don't want this in the game because people will leave the game. It's all about people leaving the game. Listen, the real fanatical fans, the ones that are probably threatening, some of the ones who are threatening you, these people buy your game religiously every single year. And the reason why there is this hatred towards people at the moment is because it's the same voices that are trying to get your attention year in, year out, to tell you you keep making the same mistakes and we don't need you to be making these. This game has been developed for 3 years. There is a recipe that you do not need to detract from for Call of Duty, and that's what these developers seem hell-bent on doing. Now, there are plenty of aspects of Call of Duty Modern Warfare which I adore. The Gunsmith is a massive new addition to the game, and I think it was a big enough addition for this to be slightly different from other Call of Duties and make it still be fresh and innovative, all that jazz basically. But there is stuff that still needs supporting heavily. Obviously the game still seems to me like it's in beta, sometimes alpha. They are updating it, which has been stated in the tweets earlier, but it seems like the wrong things are being updated to me. The quitting of lobbies, I don't get it. You can't build up a rapport with people. You can't get any type of revenge. You can't try and get your pride back after losing and winning a game and be competitive. The mantling, I personally believe, promotes camping, and I think they need to go back to a World War II style of thing, that if you've got a bipod, then you'll be able to mantle, otherwise that can't happen. I understand they have their vision at the end of the day, and I think a lot of us need to understand they have their vision. However, there are just certain things in Call of Duty that you don't touch. Now, even I was saying initially, well, I'm open to these changes, but now we have experienced the changes that you've tried to enforce. It is very evident that we are not enjoying them. I don't care what you think your statistics say. It's been a factor in every single Call of Duty that has kind of went down the wrong road, whether skill-based matchmaking, like Advanced Warfare was too much, in the likes of Black Ops 2 at the start of the game, it was too much. I detracted, I went back to other Call of Duties. This data should be showing. Games are going to time limits. This data should be showing. The 6v6 is the bread and butter of this game. TDM, that is the bread and butter of this game. I don't care what you're trying to push us to play. If you are going to alienate your core fans, and this is a statistical fact, that is your most played game mode in every single Call of Duty, so stop trying to force us to play other game modes. Get that sorted. Get the little things that we want incorporated, like dead silence, lower footsteps, the old style mini-map, and I guarantee you will turn into the messiah of Call of Duty instead of having people threatening you and threatening your family. Now, again, I don't condone these things, but it is evident that every time developers have not done what is desired of the Call of Duty fans, then the toxic fans start appearing, because you're messing with their beloved game, and that is the problem here. You are messing with a beloved game people have spent years playing, so to see become almost unrecognizable, because at the moment, if you tell me about Call of Duty Modern Warfare in terms of is it a recognizable Call of Duty, I'd say it is probably the most unrecognizable. I'm not going to say it's a bad game, but in terms of me playing Call of Duty, it's not what I would say is your typical bread and butter Call of Duty game, and that's something that is hard for me to say as a devout Call of Duty fan. So a bit more familiarity is what I'm after, and I'm sure that's what everybody else is after, and we want this game to be a lot less campy, because we have played a fast twitch shooter for the last 11 to 12 years, and that is all we are asking for. The things that you've incorporated has this game playing like other games, and it's a copycat thing again. It's playing like Battlefield with ground war, it's playing like Rainbow Six Siege with the tactical side of things, and we can still have it tactical, but it still needs to be Call of Duty at its essence. So guys, down in the comment section, do you think that Joe is being too stubborn here? I'm not going to say that I want this guy to get sacked, because I don't like to hear them kind of things, because they have a effect on everybody involved with this man, his family, his friends and so forth. But at the end of the day, I think he needs to be a bit less stubborn about his vision and start opening up to the COD community and asking us what we'd like, and seeing if we can come to actual compromises. Guys, there are many buttons you could hit, but a like and subscribe button, I hope they tickle your fancy, and as always guys, don't forget to stay on the right track. Peace.